or charge God with wrong. Well, why do you think Job did not charge? Why? Job seems pretty calm.
Well, because he had faith in God and believed in God.
Right.
And he loved God. So he knew this wasn't something that was wrong. It's just something that happens. Because before, remember how he's praying for his children? Says, I will pray for them because I know they may have sinned. So I will take the blame for it. I will bless them and make sure nothing, strikes them down because of their sins.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he's wrapped up in that world where, you do something wrong, you die. Type attitude.
Doesn't he seem a little calm, a little...
Well, I think most people who have faith in God are usually calm when death occurs.
Yeah, but if you lost your children...
If I lost my children, I'd be upset. But he did throw himself on the ground. He did rip off his clothes. He was preparing himself to die. Is what he was doing. He's like, okay, everything I have is gone. All my children are gone. Now it's my turn. It's my turn to die. And that's where he was. He was in the mindset of getting prepared for himself to die. Because he really felt he was going to die.
Well, Christina, that is a very good answer. So would you please leave? Because I don't want it. It's a joke. It is a good answer. I don't know how a person can sustain that. Maybe you wouldn't, but to say it would be in the mix of emotions, it's possible.
I just think he was ready.
I don't think it's completely realistic, but it's possible.
He says he's ripping off his clothes.
Yeah,
I came into this world naked, I'm going to leave it naked.
I get it.
So he was prepared.
All right, we have heard God's defender, and I'm a little more skeptical, but I will give her the credit for right now.
For right now.
Again, there was a day when the sons of God came.
We're going into verse 2?
I'm sorry. Yes, we can do it. It's not very long if you want to.
Oh, we can. I just thought we only did
Yeah,
5.
no, it's not very long.
Okay.
Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where have you come?" Satan answered to the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down on it." And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on earth, a blameless and upright man who fears God and turns away from evil? He still holds fast to the integrity, although you incite me against him to destroy him without reason." Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, all that a man has will be given for his life. But stretch out your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hands, only spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with loathsome swords, from the sole of his feet to the crown of his head. And he took a piece of broken pottery with which to scrape himself while he sat on the ashes. Scrape himself. Then his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women who speak. Shall we receive good from God, and shall we not receive evil?" In all this, Job did not sin with his lips.
See? Again,
Yes.
you accept the evil.
Accept.
I could only accept the evil that was around me. I came from it. She gave birth to me.
Right. And that is a very good example from Christina's book about how being born in hellish position she endured. Now, on a personal note, I love the line. And if I was giving a sermon, I don't have the guts to do this right now, but if I was giving a sermon, I would love to stand up and just start with, curse God and die. People would look at me like, but interesting enough, this is not the only time this scenario has happened. Now, being raised Catholic, I know this story. You may not. But Catholics really believe it. Around the turn, well, let's see, I guess at the, before the turn of the last century, a pope, I forget which one, to be honest, very famous, basically was leaving the altar and fainted. And basically he recounted that Satan again came to God, only this time against the Catholic Church, and said, let me have my way for so many years and, see what I can do. And God said, yes. Now, I'm not, endless debate, no, we're not going to do that. But the point is, this kind of test is in other places too. It's like and I've always wondered, okay, Satan fell, his angels fell. Why is there any conversation between God and Satan? We don't know really. We don't know. We just don't know. But it points out something very interesting in Scripture. If you take a lot of incidences and a lot of just small stuff, there's a lot more communication between the powers of darkness and the powers of good, heaven, than most people think. And we overlook it and go on. But there's a lot. There is a lot. It says in the Our Father, on earth as it is in heaven. Well, you got the good and evil down here. You got a lot of stuff going on.
And so you have it in heaven.
And I will say this. The only thing I can say in that kind of defense is not obviously to the evil, but once again, a lot of Christians have this very sterile attitude about the afterlife.
Yes.
We're just going to be like this.
No.
Like in these 10-pound robes, so no one can see anything. And we're going to be, whatever. And it's not that. On earth as it is in heaven. That kind of, and we think it's wrong to, wouldn't just the presence of God be enough? The ecstasy and all that. I get it. But I'm also here to tell you, on earth as it is in heaven. There's nothing bad, immoral, whatever. Heaven's an ecstasy, joyful, dimensional place, the afterlife. It's a lot of things. So this idea that we're all like, I don't think so.
No, because again, God says that He brings us all home.
Right.
So even the evil ones down here get to go home to heaven.
Yeah.
It's not until He decides to weed us out.
Right.
To get rid of the souls who refuse Him,
right.
Who reject Him. Then that happens where those are burned forever in the lava pit and they are never thought of again. But until then, you have the opportunity to learn and understand God even on the other side.
Right.
So you have the opportunity to follow Him.
Right.
So whether it's here or whether it's up there, you have the opportunity. It's just those who refuse, who are standing in front of Him saying, no,
Right. And the only objection I have to that approach, it's absolutely true. But remember, and it's hard for a lot of people to understand this. Some people's hearts become so whatever.
Closed off and bitter.
It's like in the movie I saw that made such an impression. When the daughter's right there and the mother says, "No, God, let you die. I won't accept it." That is blasphemy against the Holy Spirit and forgiveness. And, God's not a beggar. And why would, so the idea that some people wouldn't do that, and I know what you're going to say, well, who would be stupid enough to do that? Hatred does a lot of things.
Hatred, envy,
It does
jealousy,
a lot of things.
regret. Those are all luggage that we take over to the other side. Those are all things that we need to learn down here to drop and get rid of.
Right.
And that's why I keep saying the jealousy, the hate, the revenge, all that you need to learn here to drop.
And
get rid of it
right.
now. Because you take it to the other side. Your personality doesn't change. Your problems are more than solved.
Right.
But those are instilled in us. And when we get over there, we still have those feelings. Our
Right.
feelings don't change.
No.
So we need to learn to get rid of them here.
Right.
Drop all that baggage. Because it goes with you.
Exactly
And
right.
how are you going to fight the good fight when you've got all this luggage on you?
Right.
You can't stand up and fight for the good fight.